eating yourself into a disability is not the same as being disabled. At this point, it's like these people are being discriminated against by what? Fucking physics? Biology? Can they sue themselves? Can their organs sue them for the dehumanization that they're doing to themselves? These are experiences that feel dehumanizing. But I feel like pointing the finger at yourself and saying, I'm dehumanizing myself, gives you a better chance at living a better life.
You will subscribe to Delululand.
If you don't subscribe, you will be goddamn out of line. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Uhari, and this is Delululand, the place where I talk about delusional people, entities, or anything I want to talk about, because this is my channel. But if you subscribe, it can be our channel, and we'll build a little community, and it will be fun. Thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos and leaving comments. I appreciate the engagement. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing, turning on your notifications, and liking, commenting, or disliking. It's okay. If you want to share how you feel, do it in the comment section. Okay. Today I am going to be talking about eating your way out of society. I'm going to be talking about the self-dehumanization that is super morbid obesity. Recently, if you've been paying attention to the news or anything really on social media, you will know that there was a woman by the name of Dank something. And Dank something is a super morbidly obese woman who had called for an Uber. And when the Uber driver arrived, he made the assessment that not only would she be able to comfortably fit in his car was also not in the best shape to be able to endure the weight that comes with somebody her size. He says to her, "My tires are bad." So in this moment, when she is being denied a ride, she has this internal meltdown that is then articulated through her camera, because people can't experience anything these days without documenting it and then telling millions of people. So she takes out her camera and she starts filming him while he's saying this. And he says, "You can order an Uber XL." To which she replies, she's been able to fit in cars this size before.
What you say? Yes, I got no space on my car is small. You can fit in this one. Believe me, you can. Yes, I can. Believe. So, I'm sorry. What am I doing about my money? I'm going to cancel you. You're not going to be charged. So you telling me I can't get in the lift because I can't fit in your car? Yeah, I'm sorry. What makes you think I can't fit in this car? Because the car is big. My best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can fit in. That's the same time.
Okay, this then reminded me of another news story that was going on last year with an influencer by the name of J-Bay something. I may be wrong. J-Bay is a super morbidly obese woman who had an embarrassing experience that she then wanted to share with the world. See, not only does she require 2 seats when she's traveling, she also, in her mind, requires the use of a wheelchair. So she now lives as a disabled woman, self-made, disabled woman, and she expected a healthy BMI woman to push her on a wheelchair. She simply said that she couldn't do that. And she lost her mind and came onto the internet complaining about being discriminated against, complaining about what it's like to travel as a fat person, and pretty much petitioning airlines and starting her own little online campaign so that super morbidly obese people can get an extra seat without paying extra.
This was right before the incident I'm about to tell you about. On the first leg of the trip, the wheelchair assistance completely failed us. I was left struggling to be okay. There is a video about the incident on my page. That experience was already stressful and humiliating enough. So by the time it was time to fly home, I decided to have my fiance push me in the wheelchair to avoid any more mishaps. Picture this, me, a plus-size woman in a wheelchair, pushing my suitcase with one hand while my fiance did their best to steer. It wasn't the easiest setup, but we were managing. As we were making our way through the terminal, we walked by a group of flight attendants. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then I heard the unmistakable sound of laughter, directed right at us. They didn't even try to hide it. They pointed, laughed, and made snide remarks. And one said, "What the actual fuck?"
This then also reminded me of foodie beauty, Chantal Marie, Mrs. Al Rafe. She travels a lot because she is pretending to be an expat in Kuwait, but is actually just on a tourist visa using some, I wouldn't say loopholes, but I guess it is a loophole to keep herself in Kuwait. She stays for 3 months and then flies away and stays for 3 months and flies away. So she has been very vocal about her experiences on a plane. And what she does is she knows she needs 2 seats. She knows this. But she never, ever pays for 2 seats because her experience often is that the plane isn't full. And so they seat her at the back where she can have extra space. But sometimes this isn't the case. But she complains nonetheless, but still refuses to pay for another ticket. And then finally, the other person in my thumbnail is Amberlynn Reed. Now, I included her because it was at this point that I started to make a bit of a connection. Amberlynn Reed has eaten herself, much like Chantal, J-Bay, and Miss Dank Dumore, or whatever she is. They've eaten themselves out of society. And what I mean by that is that they have let themselves go to a point where they can't fit in society. Quite literally fit in society. Everywhere they go is an extra battle. Everything they do requires effort on the part of society to accommodate them. I used to watch My 600-Pound Life, and I remember watching 1,000-Pound Sisters back in the day before Amy got divorced and got pregnant. She might have been pregnant at the time, but she was still with Michael, and Michael would push Tammy on a wheelchair. Tammy was like high 500s, maybe 600 pounds. And she just expected this from people. She expected a lot.
Stop it. My shoe came off. Amy, get behind me.
There's a lot of people in My 600-Pound Life who are sitting in beds, immobile, expecting a lot from people. I'm starting to wonder if there is a link between extreme entitlement and super morbid obesity. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in a taxi. South Africa, taxis, well, there's many different ones, but one of the ones we use is like a 15-seater Toyota Quantum. So it goes, obviously, the passenger seat, and then 4 people, a row of 4, a row of 3, a row of 3, and a row of 4. This woman gets into the taxi and she takes up 2 seats. Literally, you can see the cushions. There's a cushion-sized position for everybody. She's in 2 of the cushions, right? She's in 2 of the cushions. And she isn't going to pay the extra price. So a man sits next to her And then this woman says that he is squeezing her in and making her uncomfortable. Yeah. And I started laughing and I quickly pulled out my phone so I could pretend I was laughing at a text. But I wasn't the only one laughing, and they looked at me like, we know what you're laughing. And it's like, how do you how do you lack self-awareness to that point? And she said it 3 times over. And we just started like looking at each other like, is this making sense to you that she of all people would say this? 2 days ago, again, your girl's in a taxi. This super morbidly obese woman comes. She's, I guess, not taking up 2 seats. She's taking up 1 3/4. 1 seat and 3/4 of another seat, right? So there's only 1/4 left for the other person. Is this woman gonna pay for an extra seat? No. Sat 4 people and we were squished. We were squished in. And then she had, I don't want to say the nerve, but she did pull out some chicken licken, which is a brand of fried chicken in South Africa. And she just started eating a chicken licken. I was like, whoa. You know, when I was at my biggest, I was really self-conscious to eat in public. Really self-conscious. And one of the things that pushed me to lose weight was that fear of the 2 seats. Because I wasn't just taking up 1 seat, I was taking up at least 1 1/4, you know? It's not nice. I know that people gonna get in the car and they're gonna be like, I'm taking up more space. And so nobody's gonna be comfortable. They're just going to be stuck in, you know? And then I thought about it and I was like, back in 2017, 18, there was this whole thing on BuzzFeed about man spreading, and it's basically just them saying that men tend to like sit with open legs and take up a lot of space, and they turned it into something that was so much bigger than it actually was. But a man or woman couldn't just get on a plane and plop a thigh on the other seat and get away with it. I was thinking when I was sitting next to her, I was like, you know what? Because before she came in, I had my bag on the seat chilling. Then she came in and I was like, whoopsie daisy, I'm going to take my bag. Because there's another person here. I couldn't just sit there with my bag there and get away with it. Why? Because I'm clearly inconveniencing society and I'm clearly inconveniencing other people. And I'm taking up more space. But I'm not taking accountability for the space I'm taking. And I was like, there. That's the thing. These people aren't taking accountability of the fact that the state you are existing in is a choice. You decided to do this to yourself. Weight loss and weight gain, all of that, it's not easy. It is not easy. It is deeply psychological. It takes work and effort on the part of a person to lose weight. And people lose weight either through self-determination, self-will, waking up and be like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I remember getting my blood pressure taken. It was a little elevated. I was 23 at the time. I said, God damn, no. No, I'm not going to have elevated blood pressure. My parents have that. They're in their freaking, late 50s, 60s. At that point, late 50s, daddy 60s, mommy late 50s, daddy 60s, whatever, irrelevant. The fact is, those are old people diseases. I can't be having old people diseases. And we talked about my lifestyle and talked about how I was sedentary. I was eating too much. And after that, I took the initiative to make an appointment with a dietitian. And I went and we broke down everything, broke down my body, my height, my measurements, current weight, and the weight where, it would be healthy for my body, your normal range. And all of that was not easy. It was, I remember being so overwhelmed because I had to lose over 50 kilograms. Yo, it's like, how do I do that? Where do I even begin to do that? And my biggest inspiration was my cat, Toby. Why are you like this? Why, Toby? I'm raising a serial killer. We have a big yard, so when I got my cat, he was able to explore in the yard and he plays around and he has his fun. But one thing he started to do was hunting. And I watched him get really good at it. And I realized he was getting really good because he has no concept of tomorrow the way we do. So the next day, he can't rest on the laurels of the previous day and be like, hey, well, I caught a bird yesterday. Every day is a fresh endeavor for him. He doesn't count yesterday. Every day is immediate. And I was like, if I just focus on the immediate day, do my best in this day, wake up tomorrow and be like, yesterday doesn't matter. I got to do my best today. I can't rest on yesterday. I started perceiving that over 50 kilograms as something that I could attain. And it gets easier. You build new habits and you start to participate in your own healing. That's one of the most therapeutic elements of weight loss. It's participating actively in your own healing, especially if you are reducing your caloric intake and adding to your movement and being more conscious of the quality of the food that you are eating, so forth and so on. Participating in that, becoming an agent in your own healing, it's special. It's like this gift that you're giving yourself. And that gift is the gift of finally existing without the burden of this weight, not just on your body, but on your mind. You carry it everywhere you go. The minute you walk into a restaurant, where am I gonna sit? Hell, you'll be in public places. You don't want to eat because bitches like this are busy sitting there like, why your fat ass eating fried chicken? Part of the problem. It's this daily battle. And once I lost the heavy, unreasonable weight that I was carrying, once I lost the whole person, I was able to be excited about being in public again because I wasn't constantly worrying about how are other people going to be affected by my size. I say all of this because I have this awareness of my thought process when I had gotten to the point of dehumanizing myself with food and extra alcohol, which was adding to a lot of my calories. I was doing something that was pushing me away from the societal norm. And once you start to get further and further from the societal norm, which is, let's just say, well, back in the day, it used to be like a normal, healthy weight range. Today, the societal norm is being bigger, but let's just live in a world of like 20 years ago. The world wasn't very accommodating of people who are super morbidly obese. One of the reasons was that not a lot of people got super morbidly obese. This is a new phenomenon. Our ancestors were not this big. This is a huge conspiracy that would take so much time to unpack as you go from the ingredients in our foods. We go from just how unregulated the food that we're eating is, how our governments aren't checking companies on the ingredients that they're putting in. There is a vested interest in making fat people. There just is. because fat people buy shit. So we have then this woman, Dank Demos, and she gains a lot of traction and attention. Attention. She gets a lot of traction and attention because of her size and the story. So she monopolizes on this. And so do these other media outlets because they all love a good story, right? This is entertaining. Fat bitch couldn't fit in a car, now she mad at the world trying to sue Lyft. Man lost his job, not fair. Feel like he should be suing because he was discriminated against. At this point, it's like these people are being discriminated against by what? Fucking physics? Biology? Can they sue themselves? Can their organs sue them for the dehumanization that they're doing to themselves? If so, I'll be in trouble because my lungs are coming for me. Smoke weed every day. So she goes on the Breakfast Club and
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hi,
How are you?
Stormy.
Hey, Ken. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Yep. This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something?
Yeah, she already little.
We had
This is what I'm talking about. Good. This is the accommodation.
there you go.
Oh,
that's why I say you eat yourself out of society. This is the first time a guest on the Breakfast Club has needed a love seat. This is the first time they've needed to get alternative seating for somebody. She's that big. So they then make accommodations for her. She starts out in their chair. She's not comfortable. And again, there are weight limits on things. So sometimes they'll be sitting on things and then they'll break them.
Hey guys, I just wanted to mention that at my highest, I also broke a chair. So I'm not being discriminatory. It's just the reality of being that big.
Pays for that. Yo, can you imagine if the Breakfast Club sent her a bill for a chair? Cruelty. These are experiences that feel dehumanizing. But I feel like pointing the finger at yourself and saying, I'm dehumanizing myself, gives you a better chance at living a better life. You're taking away your own rights. You're taking away your own peace of mind. You're taking your own ability to be comfortable in public. You're doing that. Sure, the world could make bigger everything, but what would that change? I just don't get this entitlement of expecting the world to change for you and of treating fatness like it's a disability. Eating yourself into a disability is not the same as being disabled. Being disabled by other circumstances you did not have a choice in. When I was gaining weight, I could feel a difference in my mobility. I could feel how it was becoming harder to do normal things like tie my shoelaces. I could feel myself being heavier. I had the awareness of how much my weight was rubbing me off. It's my weight to lose. Nobody can do it for me. No one. By expecting society to continuously contort itself to accommodate your fatness, you're not progressing. These aren't getting fat rights, it's fat entitlements. If you are an entitled, super morbidly obese person, the chances of losing weight are slim. You need to become accountable. Think about other people and their experience. I believe that being granted a free seat pales in comparison to the day when you earn the one seat. Getting another seat for free isn't progress. Society making things bigger is not progress. When you're super morbidly obese, stop harping on how the world is discriminating against you and harp on how you're discriminating against yourself, how you are taking away your own human rights, your own access to public amenities. Your ancestors out here dying so women can vote. You can't even go to the polls. Your ancestors are dying so that everybody can be in the place. You can't even fit because you ate your way out. All these privileges that people died for, you can't even participate in any of that. Some of y'all are still living lives of friggin' 1900s, and you're doing that because you're choosing not to participate in your own healing. So yeah, guys, I think that is everything that I have to say on the topic. Thank you so much for watching it. If you made it this far, please leave me a donut emoji so I can know that y'all are nuts about me. What? So stupid. Anyway, seriously though, guys, thank you so much. YouTube, not a human right, it's a privilege. Not entitled to your attention, and you giving me your time is precious because time is the only thing that you can't get back. Hope to see you next time in the next video. Goodbye.